Jamaica's Kishane Thompson and Oblique Seville utterly dominated the men's 100 meters semi-finals moments ago at the Paris Olympic Games. In other words, in Jamaican parlance, the two of them mash up the place, they mash up the semi-finals. Trust me, we have a lot to talk about. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit subscribe button so we continue to go. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. You drop a video at least once a day here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit the like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, ready? Yep, good to go. Well, first up, let me just say this formally. This is the Olympic Games. It is not World Championships or the Diamond Leagues. I cannot show you any video clippings from the actual race or I will get a strike. If I get 3 of those, I lose my channel. So I literally can't show you this. Normally, people who come here normally know that I normally show you clips. I cannot do that. But we have three heck of a races, three serious races to talk about. Yes, I'm a little excited. Let's talk. The fastest man in the world so far for 2024, Kishane Thompson of Jamaica, and Oblique Seville, the 4th fastest in the world, were in fine metal today in the men's semi-finals. ACKEEM Blake of Jamaica also gave a solid representation of himself, although unfortunately he did not make it through to the semi-finals. Jamaica's Oblique Seville and the USA's world champion Noah Lyles, the so-called fastest man, they clashed in the semi-final number 1, a clash that many persons have anticipated. When the smoke cleared, it was Oblique Seville who won in a very impressive 9.81, a new personal best, which means, people, he's rounding into his best form during the Olympics. And remember, I told you this is what was going to happen. Okay, Noah Lyles also ran a very impressive 9.83 to take a second. This was truly a very, very entertaining race. It was almost like a finals. I've been talking about both of these young men clashing again since their race at Racers Grand Prix in Jamaica about 6 to 8 weeks ago. And the race went as I anticipated, and as I told all of you, it probably would. Now, here's what happened. Seville got a great start. You can see it here in this frame. Seville ran really, really well, controlled, and of course Lyles eventually attempted to catch him, which he pretty much almost caught him on the line. Hence, so Lyles did run a solid race. But what was important to me here is 2 things. One, Oblique Seville was completely relaxed, completely in control, and clearly was at no more than 80%. I believe Lyles was running much harder, and I believe Lyles also once again started to run Oblique Seville's race. Towards the end there, I'm going to show you, you're going to see this frame where Lyles is looking at Oblique Seville. Oblique Seville did glance in Lyles' direction right before this, but he was actually looking at the clock. I double checked. Oblique Seville has gotten in Noah Lyles' head. I told you this would happen after races, people. Anyway, that was semi-final number 1. Now, ACKEEM Blake had the toughest semi-final. I'm not joking. And unfortunately, he came up against these 2 young men from Africa, Simbini and Tobago. In the end, it was Simbini who won in a time of 9.87, with Tobago running second in 9.91. Both of these young men look very, very well, very measured. However, there is a massive difference between running 9.91 and 9.87 to running a 9.81 or a 9.80. Huge, massive difference. And trust me, in 100 meter, that's like a half a meter difference. That's huge. However, Simbini, I did tell you, I believe is a factor, and I do believe that Tobago is a factor. They cannot be taken lightly. Unfortunately, ACKEEM Blake did not make it through to the finals. ACKEEM ran 10.06 to take the 5th position. Now, as one would expect, ACKEEM Blake had a bullet start, you can see here. Really, really solid. And by about 70 meters in, he started to fade. Now, what surprised me was Kenny Benerick. I had expected him to do a little better than he did. He did fade, and of course the Olympic champion Jacobs didn't do as well as one would have anticipated, but that was a great semi-final number 2. But it was semi-final number 3 that I think most people were actually anticipating, because it would be the first time that we actually saw Kishane Thompson really run. Kishane Thompson lined up against who I think is the most dangerous American, which is this young man, Fred Curley. Remember, I said Fred Curley's PB is the 9.76, so he's a real danger here. To me, he's even more a danger than Noah Lyles, and I'm not knocking Noah Lyles, but I just think if he's rounding into form, and it kind of looks like he is, he's much more dangerous to me than a Noah Lyles. Kishane Thompson ran hard, but he was certainly nowhere near 100%. I'd say about 80, like Oblique Seville. He ran 9.80. It was a very measured and very controlled race. Curley looked really, really good, running a season's best of 9.84, which also means he's rounding into form, so he's really also a factor. And as you can see here, this is the beginning of the race. Both men standing on the line. Now Thompson got a solid start. I believe they look pretty even right here. As you can see, Kishane Thompson immediately started to separate himself from the rest of the field. He was pretty dominant throughout, as you can see right here. And I believe about 20 meters in, I'm not going to say he shut it down, but he just allowed his momentum to carry him through the line. I don't think he was really running hard after that. So I think he has at least 20% more. And I'm telling you, this race, I'm going to predict it again. The winner is going to have to run somewhere between a 9.69 to a 9.75 to win. That's my prediction. And I'm going to say it again. I believe the Jamaicans are going to win. Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. Akani Simbini of South Africa is dangerous. I said it before. In fact, I brought down the percentages of who I think could win. He's one of the persons who could win. It's unlikely, but he definitely is getting faster and faster. I did say that I believe Fred Curley is the most dangerous of all the Americans if he's running into form, because he's the only American there who has run a sub 9.80, and that's becoming quite clear. He just ran a new season's best of 9.84 in semi-final number 3, which means he's rounding into form. So we expect him to perhaps run something faster in the finals. How fast? I don't know. But that kind of time could podium him. That's my personal opinion. This does not mean, however, that my prediction that the Jamaicans, if all goes according to what I think it will do, will win. I believe we're going to come first and second. Noah Lyles. Again, I'm going to keep saying this. I believe at his max, he may be able to run and muster a 9.80. That's my personal opinion. He did run something technically that was a 9.79 at the London Diamond League when he ran into that minus 0.03 wind. But I just don't know, people. I've analyzed his racing style, and I think there's a cap. Now, if he manages to get the perfect start, he can be unimaginably dangerous, but that just doesn't seem to be in the cards. Lyles could podium. I'm not going to say no, but I'm thinking it's between Lyles and Curley to take the podium in the men's 100 meters finals. Seville, wow. Apart from clearly being completely healthy, he has been managing his rounds perfectly. He has made none of the mistakes he made at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, which took place in 2021, or World Championships 2022 and 2023. He's an experienced, he's a veteran now, and you can see it. He was so relaxed in his cheeks and face. I wish I could show you the actual video. His face was just bouncing all over the place. And by the way, you want your sprinter to look like that. Completely relaxed, shoulders relaxed. He was running at 80%. When he glanced over in the direction of Noah Lyles in semi-final number 1, but he was actually just looking at the clock. I don't think he was looking at Noah Lyles. And I'm going to say it again, Noah Lyles changed his race to run Oblique Seville's race, and he will not win running like that. Kishane Thompson. I saw a little bit of nervousness in semi-final number 2. I thought he was a little nervous, but I believe those butterflies have passed. And again, that 9.80 that he ran was exceedingly measured. I mean, he has at least 20% more in the gas tank. So I'm still thinking we're going to see something close to 10.69 to 10.75 for the winner. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm still predicting, based on everything that I've crunched in the last year, that Kishane and Oblique will take first and second. I cannot tell you in what order. I really honestly don't know. And I've said that repeatedly. But I believe we should walk away with a gold and a silver here. There will be no American sweep. Not plausible. And I still do not think Noah Lyles is going to win. I just don't. I'm almost certain. But this is track and field. But if no one falls or trips over themselves, and that's not going to happen at this level, we are looking at first and second. These young men absolutely crushed it. They mashed up the place in the semi-finals, people. They mashed it up, no joke. And none of the two young men, Kishane or Oblique, were at their best. Now, Oblique to me has a slight advantage simply because of the experience he has. But Kishane has been running his rounds brilliantly. So, we'll all know in a few. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, hit the like button. Remember, your royals, kings and queens. Bless up!